この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I've got a question for you. Are you Frieren what I'm Frieren? Because I'm Frieren pretty good. Whoa! Welcome. It's Wednesday. We're going to watch Frieren. We've got episode 13 on the docket for us, and I'm not going to make much more ado about it. I did enough of that in the last episode, as evidenced by the hour-and-a-half long discussion for a normal length anime episode. But I couldn't help it. It was fascinating. It's awesome. The core portion of the episode was discovering that Himmel the hero is, in fact, a fake hero. He was not given his title by some magic blade stuck into a magic rock that decided that he was worthy. Nobody decided he was worthy. He decided he was worthy. Hell, he decided he would try even if he wasn't worthy. And I think, in a lot of cases, in a lot of allegorical senses, that makes you way more worthy than crossing whatever threshold, whatever bright line, whatever particular task everybody says is what makes you worthy. The ability to do some inane thing, to have some genetic marker, to be some particular body type, like whatever it is, doesn't prevent you from being able to accomplish the thing that you want to accomplish. And the evidence for that in human history is overwhelming, absolutely overwhelming. Being not chosen by the gods does not stop us. We choose ourselves. We are the ones who make choices, and that's what really matters. And that and the effort put behind it, the willingness to persevere, and the choice of direction. So it was a damn cool thing. Really cool thing. Also raises some questions about actually the sword is there and does seem to have some magic properties. So maybe whoever put it there and said the weird prophecy about the world ending wasn't wrong or lying, and we might have to double back for that sword at some point. For now, it's just a step on our journey. And our journey also included a beautiful family thing. Not a beautiful family, except for one member of the family, the brother. A beautiful realization that Stark has been getting birthday cakes, birthday steaks, as somebody in the comments put it, for a little while. That he's been receiving a little bit more respect than he thought. That's pretty cool. And finally, thank you to Electric Ant and David Walker for pointing out that we have finally completed the subversion of the original party. The corrupt priest, the ancient but naive mage, the cowardly warrior, and of course, the fake hero. Good stuff. I'm gonna do a drawing. I'm gonna take a sip of tea. Yummy. I don't remember what the sword looks like, and I'm not gonna look it up, so I'm just gonna draw a cool sword. Gosh, it's so funny. If you were to go back and look at my notebooks and textbooks and workbooks and basically anything that was paper that was put in front of me during a period where I wasn't supposed to be drawing on that paper, you will find an immense number of swords and blades drawn all over it. Just like all over it. All the time. And it's very strange because I wasn't really interested in swords or blades or anything. I think I was mostly interested in shapes, particularly this shape. I'm continuously and constantly and forever fascinated by this shape. This is the aerodynamic shape. If you put two together, it's a water drop, sort of. That's garbage. No water drop would look like that. But it's the shape that something, would create as a wind flow. And I don't know, I've just been obsessed with it, and with drawing blades or leaf blades or things or sting or sting is basically that shape. The blade from Lord of the Rings, it's basically that shape. It's just I love, I don't know why I love that shape, and have always loved drawing blades. Probably the thing to do, now that I think of it, is to go to the blacksmith that's in town and take a couple classes and, like, learn how to actually blacksmith some blades. That would probably be the move. Simple as can be. I'm gonna do one more just for fun, because it's a different idea. Slightly different idea. Just gonna do this. This will be more as symbols. Herk. Gosh dang, that's garbage. Fucked up and put an extra line. Oh no! Email hair. Okay, the cycle, the flowchart of heroism in this world. 99% of people take the left flowchart, which goes, I'm gonna be a hero! Guess I'm not the hero. One he-male takes the other side. I'm gonna be a hero! Oh fuck, this is really hard. Hey, you're not a real hero. You know what? Fuck you, man. You know what? Absolutely fuck you. I do have a real sword, and it will really stab you, and that makes me the real hero. Correct. So which one should I put up? The cute, moderately pretty-ish kind of symbolic one, or the goofy flowchart? Both. Oh no, this is ill-advised. This does not work. Alright, that's as good as we're gonna get. Great. You can't see it anyway from here. It's fine. It's all good. And with that, our drawing is done. Our hero is fake but real. Oh, shoot, we gotta mention this, because I didn't bring it up at all during the episode, but it was brought up to me in the Discord afterward, and people were like, I wonder if Teeaboo was gonna mention this thing that's also really familiar to this. Maybe spoilers for those of you who haven't seen the Monogatari series, but it doesn't matter. You'll forget about this part by the time you get to this portion of the Monogatari series. Nisei Monogatari means fake story. Story fake. And the whole point of Nisei Monogatari is that sometimes lies are truer than the truth. Sometimes you can lie about your intent or your purpose in a way that actually makes it manifest, like makes it more possible for you to accomplish the task that you were trying to accomplish or whatever, without actually telling people what you're doing. And that can make you more real at the thing that you lied about than the thing, than like if you said the truth about it. Just want to throw that out there because it is a very cool piece of weird semantics that Nisei Oisin definitely did a good job investigating, and definitely is something that was like illuminated in the back of my brain but not given name until people gave it name in the Discord. I was like, oh, yeah, totally. Nisei Monogatari has the exact same premise in it, that sometimes lying about what you are, sometimes lying and pretending to be something that you're not, is truer than telling the truth. Yeah, pretty cool. We're gonna watch episode 13. I have no idea what we're gonna get here. All I can say is that I'm pretty freaking confident we've had 0. We're 12 episodes in. We're 1 core in. We've had 0 flubs. 0 failings, 0 mistakes, 0 things to even point at and say, I wish that this had been done differently. Mostly, I've been enamored by this show. I've been impressed by the choices that are made, both narratively, visually, action-y, goofily, when it comes to jokes, when it comes to character interactions and believing that these people exist in their world, when it comes to mysteries and questions about the nature of reality, when it comes to pretty much every category that I can make a category for, Frieren is knocking it out of the park. So here at that sort of 1 core halfway point, I just want to point that out. Here we go for episode 13. Maybe, every time we go into a new episode, there's a chance that the next episode is going to just suck donkey balls. But I don't see it. I don't see it happening. I just see more. And I want to see more. So let's go ahead and watch some more. I've got Frieren episode 13, subs please version, up and ready to go, sitting at 0 seconds, 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, beep timer to count you down, early access on Patreon. Thank you to all the patrons. I'm getting an influx of new patrons, which is pretty cool. I guess, I don't really know why. There was certainly like a jump when I started Frieren and when I started ReZero. Like, those two together, definitely going to be a jump. And maybe with like Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 coming around, but I feel like most of the people who would have joined for that would have joined when we started Season 1 and just been ready for Season 2 to pop. But there's been kind of a steady flow of new patrons jumping on the Patreon train, and it's really cool. I mean, I can't complain about it. It's the way that I continue to be able to make this channel work. So thank you so much to all the patrons. It's lovely to have you along for the ride. Let's continue the journey. Frieren, episode 13, Beep Beep Timer. Oh, this episode is titled Aversion to One's Own Kind, but I don't know what that means. I was thinking it means elves, but we've met another elf, so... Beep Beep Timer. Am I out of context? Is this the wrong episode? Nope, okay. Dude looks like a sailor. Master and Commander style. Yeah, everybody wants to be an adventurer. Sure. Okay, who is this guy? How do we meet him? I didn't see Fern or Stark around, so is this current present day present time? I can't stop referencing Lane there. It's one of the things that's wormed its way into my brain. Present day present time, I have to say it. That is my favorite piece of this song. When we go into those multiple layered... I don't think they're syncopated, but they feel like they are. Those multiple layered beats. Oh, that was that guy. Or maybe that was Graph Granite. No, that was that guy. Fuck, that hit with a note. Ah, that's a protagonist. Ah, a protagonist. Is he a priest? Yeah, man. Oh, that might be the dude with the greatsword that we see standing in front of the statue. That was 10 years ago. Is he alive? Is he dead? Yeah, I was just here to pick some basil. Okay. Oh. You were telling us your story from Quicksand. That was very fun. That was very fun. Just not showing us. He's perfect. He's perfect. Can you not grab that root, bro? Oh. Oh. Please. Yo, what kind of weird tension is he gonna bring to the squad? I don't know why I'm thinking that he's gonna join the squad. He's not gonna join the squad. He's not in any of the art. Oh, hi, Fern. We can lift him out with magic, right? Oh, we're ignoring him? Welcome to the La Brea Tar Pits. Yeah, starts like, I'm out. Stop by the village! Stop! Stop at the village, you dingoes! Alright. I want to know more about this guy. We haven't even got a name from him. Yeah, us. We're the dangerous, venomous creatures. Bitch. Okay, thanks for the warning, though. Oh! Well, we're going back to the village. Ew. There's berries! Got it. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, we should probably go grab that priest then. It's Ebola! Enjoy your organs liquefying. There's some bad poisons. You just float him. Huh? It's a big deal, bro. Mm. Dwarves? Dwarves have poison resistance. But I'm his student, so of course I'm also... Damn. That tracks. There's a lot of poison. It's fucking deadly. You are going to explode! Your brains are going to leak out of the soles of your feet. I knew it. Yeah, for sure. He's a special. He's a priest. That's your bathtub? Oh, he's self-flagellating. He's like hair shirting. Sign! He's a talented priest, eh? He's a very talented priest. Maybe he should join our party. Why don't you come along with us, little buddy? He's not happy here. He regrets not going on adventures in the past. He's got the skills we need, and we don't have a healer. Come on, we gotta bring the boy. Bring that boy. He's pretty good at this. Why are you so bad at this? Oh. Oh. Why doesn't your brother have it? Or he's been bitten 1,000 times by that fucking snake. Oh, shit. Whoa, okay. Oh, he's your sensei, kind of. Yeah, that spirit died in him. So that's what our episode's going to be about, is reawakening it, I think. Yeah, he doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to be doing this. Stuck. Hmm. Be great to have a priest. Straightforward. Yeah. He's the one who gets injured all the time. If you're the front line, you want a healer. Plus, we're two squishy mages. Yeah, for sure. To geniuses? I thought it would be to priests or to people of the same class. She said, an aversion to my own kind. Oh! He puts Hyder to shame! He's a drinkard! And gambling. You're a terrible priest. Makes him perfect. It makes him perfect. It is getting to know the people. Your brother is. You're using that as an excuse. Fuck, don't, no, not to Stark. He's just a kid. He doesn't know how to guard cards. Maybe he knows how to cards. He's gonna get trounced. He got trounced. He's absolutely getting punishment gamed. Oh, they took all his clothes. A priest. Oh, he got screwed over too. So neither of them won? Two losers in their underwear. Two. Oh! Same idea. Person who wants to stay there. Oh, what a lie. Oh. I feel that when you leave something be. Wow. And again, the lines of one person transcend. She might? Huh? Oh. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they might be. Ugh. No, don't. It's not like that. It's not even like that. She just is that way. I really don't think you had to do anything to Fern. Wait, what? Wait, doesn't she? She knew Hyter. You grew up under Hyter. What? Best medicine for what? Yeah, he's clearly going against his internal goals. Nice to do something for someone else that they've done for me. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. Just like he did. How draining. I wonder if he'll come back. Or if he'll be dead. We need to bribe him. Uh-uh. Aw. That's about it. Yeah. It's unclear. Well, we've got a much older woman. Why is everybody looking at me? What is with these tiny tools? There's no one else, man. Yeah, yeah. Thousands of years. Doesn't do it. Really doesn't do it. Yeah, it doesn't do it for me. Yeah. Transformation magic. Please. I really hope that's what it is. The what? Clunk. Oh, I wonder why. So Flame taught you that? Oh, we got him. In the nuts. Don't get it at all. Fern, you would have been in trouble? Shut your face, you're lying. How many years ago was that? Oh, he dead. What if he's not, though? Damn, why you gotta hit me so hard, dude? That means nothing to you, but it means a lot. But she understands that lost time. It will be if you keep waiting. There's the line again. I bet you can. He's not a good enough priest. Oh. And then the village? They're not brothers. Or maybe they are. It's unclear. You saw him. He's gonna slap him. Slap him! Oh, yeah! You live in regret, man. Well, I can tell. That was the kindest thing he could do. I could tell that too. Yeah. Yeah, reversal of everything. Attitude switch. Sure. We caught that fish, didn't we? Yeah, symbols. Squad, 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 squad! We have a priest! We got a magic caster, priest, magic, healer person. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, the end of the world. Yeah, aren't you go the other place? We're in this together, buddy. We're still working on that. What is her deal? We'll figure it out at some point. That was lovely. That was really cute. While this plays, I'll wait for it to end. I'll wait for it to end. I was gonna say I'm gonna look up his name's meaning, but I think I'm not. I'd choose the present. Arguments that are a privilege of the young? Sounds like maybe something between Stark and Fern? They're the youngest that we know, or maybe they'll run into somebody else. This is cool, especially coming after an episode where we talk about what it means to be a hero, where we talk about characters taking this choice despite the world and continuing to move forward with it. We have someone else who's on the other side of that spectrum, whose reluctance has led him to stay. And I have to start by saying a line that I've said many times, that has been said to me many times, and that I understand rather deeply and is constantly an everlasting, unending battle in my life, and probably in yours too. The line is really simple. We suffer by our reluctances. It's one of my old dadisms. That is one of the things that my dad imparted on me. We suffer by our reluctances as a general rule. If there's a thing and you find yourself reluctant to do it, probably you're suffering from that. And if you step back and you evaluate it, probably you can realize that you are causing yourself pain and harm. And Sign is no different. Sign is reluctant to follow his friend out on dangerous adventures, to leave this village. He comes up with excuses that are good excuses, and that's exactly what you'll do if you're reluctant to do something that you know you need to do. You'll come up with the best rationalizations for staying right where you are and not moving forward, and they are good excuses. Hell, they even make him out to be virtuous for doing it, right? I'm staying here to protect and help my brother. My brother stayed here for me. I can't abandon him. But all of those are assumptions. All of those are built so that you don't interrupt your worldview, so that you can structure out a perspective that leads to you staying right where you are and not moving. And Sign is comfortable staying right there, or he thinks he is. Now, his brother actually is comfortable with that. He's happy being a small town priest. He gets this opportunity to go off to bigger places, and he stays, he says, because of his brother, but he's always been content there. He's happy to be here, and as he says, I never regretted my decision to stay. Sign, though, responds in kind, and he takes that as a reason to stay. And instead of thinking clearly about it, we watch this character, and we spend a lot of time with him. Maybe not a lot of time, but enough shots of him as a child with this burgeoning, overflowing, adventurous spirit up on the roof of the thing, Titanicking his way into the wild blue yonder, and rushing after his friend and stuff. He's shown the way by this friend, and then he cannot follow the way. He cannot go upon it. He doesn't even go and choose to try to pull the hero's sword. He just says, no, you know what? None of that's for me, when his heart is leaping out of his chest to go and do this thing. And that is a very real feeling that I think a lot of us find ourselves in. There's a thing you want to do, but man, doing it is a little bit different from right now. It's a little bit different from reality. It would shake everything up. It would change everything, and that's really scary. It's really scary. Not to mention, other people have gone out and done those things and maybe failed. Maybe that friend of ours is fucking dead. Sign certainly believes it. Maybe I'll get dead if I go and do it. Maybe I shouldn't. Wow. It's a really cool perspective on reluctance. Now, before we go any further, I want to know 2 questions, which I'm going to keep these as our 2 questions for pretty much every character that we're introduced to, and hopefully continue to do this as we move forward. What does Sign's name mean, and who is Sign's voice actor? I didn't super notice his voice actor. I didn't feel like that was somebody extremely striking who, jumped out of the screen at me, and I was like, oh my god, it's Tio! Not that I would have recognized it being Tio anyway, apparently, but I do still want to know who it is, just to expand my worldview on voice actors and understand where they're coming from and who they are. So, let's start with translation. Sign. Pronounced Sein. And it is be. That is to be. And then as for its, secondary definitions, to be present. Present here and now. Okay, Sign, German meaning. I guess it's sein. It is to be. It is the verb. And it is irregular. And it conjugates in a similar way. Am, are, and is. Oh, so sein becomes bin, sind, war, waren. Which I'm pronouncing these all wrong, I understand. Ich bin schon, I don't know how umlauts work. So sein's name is, just being. That's a very strange name for a person. But given the lines of the episode, talking about the present, talking about being, and in some ways, I'd say being true to yourself, that's really powerful. I'm still a little stuck on aversion to one's own kind, because she says it right after discovering that he's capable, and after she labels him a genius, but it seems more related to the reluctance, the desire to stay stuck. And there's a wrinkle to that staying stuck thing, and it has to do with timing. It's this feeling like you've missed the boat. Like, I could have gone then, years ago, but now it's been so long that there's no way to go. And that's mirrored by Frieren's own 500 years ago, maybe I should have gone and defeated the Demon King, but now I've left it for so long and now I just don't want to. That is a setup that I really relate to. I really relate to it in the context of watching shows. I find it very difficult to return to a show after a long period of absence. Or to return to a piece of media's continuation or second season after a while of not watching it. It's quite difficult for me. It's like a full switching gears back to the thing. I'd almost rather watch something new and leave that thing behind and just let it sit where it is. But you want to continue those journeys, really. I definitely understand and feel that, but I more poignantly feel that weight of reluctance in my life in oh so many forms and oh so many ways. Yeah, just all over the place for all kinds of things. Okay, voice actor. Yuichi Nakamura. That's a familiar name. Oh, he's Satoru Gojo. He's also Oreki in Hyoka. Huh. He's Bruno Bucciaretti. Wow, he's a bunch of people. I wouldn't have recognized any of that. Really interesting. That is his friend. 100. Isn't it? I'm almost certain that that's him. Cool. Interesting. So maybe he is out there. Or maybe not. I gotta see this first, like, straight up first moment. Something about the audio cue and then the scene that we're shown did something weird to me. Oh, that's what it is. It's ethereal, angelic female voices. That'll do it. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't even have words. I'm just gonna go back a little bit. I can't think of a time that I've been more quickly pulled into a tone. That's amazing. One shot, one audio cue, plus background tweeting birds, and that's it. And then the timing of his voice coming in is just like, fuck, this show's good. That was nothing. That was literally nothing. And yet it was still the coolest thing that I've seen all week. I watched Do You Remember Love this week, okay? I watched one of the coolest animated films, period. And maybe the best thing that I've seen this week is the first seconds of this show. Oh my god, what the fuck? What? How did that happen? Sometimes it's not about doing more. Sometimes it's really not about doing more. I guess we do get a little bit of a hint at the angle here. It's just because of where his torso is and where she is. But what a fun manipulation of our perspective to not reveal to us that he's in quicksand and he's just dumping his whole backstory on us as he continues sinking. That's so fucking funny. What goof. What absolute goof. A good gorilla who cared for his friends. But when I grew up and started to forget that dream, he invited me to become an adventurer with him. Our visual is solid here. A brick wall versus an endless expanse of whiteness, of nothing. What would have changed if I'd taken his hand then? I still regret it. And, well, that's it, isn't it? Maybe this isn't the most important thing in his life, but as he's standing, dying, he's not telling you about his brother, he's not telling you about his work in the church and how much he cares about this village, he's telling you about his one missed opportunity. Like, when you are on your deathbed, the most important things and your biggest regrets flash through your mind, and his biggest regret is, man, I really wish I had gone adventuring with my best bro. And then he goes, no, that's not actually what I want to do. It's not like that's actually what I want to do. It's just the one thing that comes to mind when I'm about to die, and I wish that was the only thing that I had done. But no. It's not like I'm not actually going to do that. But that's right, isn't it? That's right, isn't it? You'll meet people like this. But it's so true. You have to shore up your regrets. How else are you going to live with them? How else are you going to continue moving on, knowing that the path that you're on isn't the one that you want to be on, unless you delude yourself? And that's exactly what people do. It's exactly what people do. How many people in their, let's say, mid to late 30s find themselves stuck in a career, on a path, in a direction that they chose because it was convenient and safe in their 20s, chose because it was relatively convenient or safe, had big dreams or something like them, and gets to a point where they go, oh God, what am I doing? Of those, how many actually go on a crazy midlife crisis and throw everything away and do something interesting? And how many buckle down, convince themselves that what they're doing is right, convince themselves that they're locked into this, that there are people who rely on them, that upsetting all of that would put them in great danger financially and then literally, and avoid stepping off of the path that they've forged for themselves, despite knowing that it will make them miserable, that every step they take in that direction is more stagnation, that every inch moved down that path moves them further away from where they actually want to go. I think a lot of people live miserable, fucked lives. It's a really, really, really scary, sad thing. I was almost on that path. Hell, I was on it for a little while. I went and got a computer science degree. I got a computer science degree despite not really liking computer science very much or being very good at it, because I thought it would be safe and comfortable and reasonable. I made up a bit of a justification for myself. I made it up, and I lived with this one for a while. I was like, you know what it is? Computer science programming is a tool, and my goals are artistic and creative. My goals are creative and to build things. Computer science is a toolkit for building things. So I'm going to go into that, and then I will take that tool set and I will apply it to the real dreams that I have. But that's not the direction that it took me. It still could be. Maybe in the future at some point I'll come across the reason that, you know, it'll all click together and it'll all make sense or whatever. But I think it's rather easy to see a world where I now, here, age 30, would still be programming, still be in the rat race in the Bay Area, in San Francisco, would still be like jumping from startup to startup with companies and people who don't care, who are building products just to get valuations, like from venture capitalists, and essentially churning money, almost money laundering is the way that I would characterize it, and not using that degree or any of my talents or any of my time or willpower or force of personality or life energy or any of it to build or create anything, but instead just churning down a path that doesn't lead to anything. And probably if I were in that position, I would be using far more drugs, drinking far more heavily, and having a far worse life than I do now. I'd be making a lot more money, but that's not the be-all and end-all of things. Certain kinds of comfort are no comfort at all. Not when you know that you're trudging further down the wrong path. And people would say something like, well, you can do that and then still pursue your creative endeavors on the side, or you could do that for a period of time and then transition to doing things that you really want to do once you're established and financially stable and all that stuff. And fair enough, there are people who do that, but there are also so many people who get tired, who get locked in, who can barely focus on the one thing that they're required to do, let alone go outside that to motivate themselves to do something interesting. And I felt myself being sapped, and the life sucked right out of me by doing it. I don't know if Sign feels that too, but that regret, that constant pull, oh, he feels that. Why else would he bring that up in these moments? It's the most important thing to him. It's always on his mind. It's constantly a shadow looming over him. You can't live like that. You can't live like that. You can't live knowing that you're doing it wrong. You will destroy yourself. You will destroy yourself. You will destroy yourself. You will destroy yourself. Self-sabotage is no fucking joke. And if you push yourself in a direction that is not aligned with your internal desires, your real goals, and you might not know what those are, let's be clear, you got to spend some time to evaluate them and figure out what you really actually want. But if you're on a path that is not aligned with them, you will fail, baby. And maybe you'll hit your targets and reach your marks, but everything else, something else will explode in the background. You'll squeeze down and be like, no, I gotta stay on this path, and you'll squeeze right out the edges of your own clenched fist. Like, you can't live lying to yourself. And yet many millions of people absolutely do, and they become miserable, horrible adults because of it. You'll meet them. You'll meet these people with regrets and excuses. And they'll live in those excuses like, yeah, it wasn't really the right thing for me to do. It probably better that I stay and do blah, blah, blah. Whatever they come up with, it'll be as logical as can be, as rational as can be, and their eyes will go dead when they say it. Because it's not true. Even if it's true, it's not true. It's not spilling forth from their soul. Humans used to think of their life's work, for many of us, used to think of vocations more than professions, of being called to something, of being pulled to it, of being drawn to it, more than choosing it. As opposed to, here's this list, you have to do something, find something and do it. The attitude that I would prefer would be more like, here's the world, what are you called to? A lot of cases, that's what's wrong here. What do you see that's wrong here? What do you want to contribute? What do you want to change? What do you want to fix? It's right there. It's right in your world. Maybe not even outside your door. Maybe in your room. It's a great place to start. What are you called to? Well, man, my desk is pretty fucking dirty. That calls to you. But more than that, like, a willingness to trust your spirit. I don't believe in spirits, let me be clear, but a willingness to trust your animating force, the force that's within you that makes you want to move. It will make you want to move in certain directions. You'll be pulled to them. For the past year, I have ridden past on my dang electric unicycle. I've ridden past a boxing gym every couple days. It's right next to one of the grocery stores that I go to. For the past year, I've ridden past it. And I've wanted to go in there. I've wanted to start a combat sport. But I'm scared of it. I'm, like, genuinely scared of it. Brain injury is not a thing that I want on my history. But it pulls me. It calls to me. And I don't know at this point how different my life will be if I do or do not go through those doors. But I know that if I never go through those doors, I will regret it. I know that if I don't take that step outside of my comfortable bubble, I will regret it. And I don't know what that regret will do to me. But I suspect it will add a layer of bitterness, of failure, and of willingness to give in to reluctance again, and again, and again. I don't think that's a way to live. Not if you want to live. Not if you want to thrive. So the other option is to stay and stagnate and do nothing. That's exactly what Sign does. He just bees. Like his name. He just is. And that can be really good. Let's not dispense with that. The ability to just exist, to not have a direction, to be content just being, is potent, but he's not content. He's being despite the pull. He's staying static despite the goal right in front of him. He's stuck in quicksand. And he's desperately asking for someone to pull him out. And the way he asks is by telling them what he really regrets. Because the quicksand that he's stuck in isn't this one. It's this dang village. It's the whole of reality. The actual interaction is really funny. She won't touch him because he's dirty. His response is that all adults are dirty. Really funny. Very funny. And then her responses of like, can I have more time, please? Are so Frieren-y. So like, oh, this isn't time bound. This doesn't matter at all. Really wonderful. Hey, watch out. Lots of dangerous venom. Snap. I really like the sound that they used for the munch. For the snake munch. It's a classic. What a cute snake, too. It's such a cute snaky boy. Dang it, Stark. Oh, I'll be fine. Everything melting. Just the worst kind of poison, the liquefier type. There are real snakes that do that, right? Well, spiders do. Seems like snakes generally don't. Oh, some of them do cause internal bleeding. Huh. There are a bunch of different types of snake venom. Okay, I'm just gonna... some of them do dissolve the membranes of muscle cells, which is horrifying. Bunch of varied actions. Well, don't know what to do. Guess we should probably head to town. I'm fine. We don't mention dwarves having any sort of resistance. Just Ison is a beast. He's just a beast. Dwarves in D&D worlds do have resistances. I wonder if they do in Dragon Quest. Since we've mentioned that Dragon Quest is probably our basis. Dragon Quest dwarf. Nothing about poison. It's too late. And I love how just very casually Sign pops out. I was like, there you go. You're helped. What is with the tiny... the tiny implements? Such a funny joke. Is the joke just that they're replacing all of their things with smaller things because poverty is honorable? And it just feeds into Sign being like, wait, maybe I shouldn't be here. I don't know. Wah! Done. And he just walks out. Father, is he... I don't know what she was going to ask. The most outstanding priest. And yet you called it incurable and he instantly cured it. Seems like he's pretty good at this. He recognizes her, knows Heiter. This is the only thing that I'm proud of, but my ability doesn't compare. Our parents passed away when we were young. Wait, I swear that the line that came up was his parents passed away when he was young. I swear that was the line that came up. Am I absolutely bonked? I'm bonked. I'm dumb. He was true in childhood. Didn't want to become an ordinary village priest like me who spent every day the same way. He said that with his eyes full of hopes and dreams. Okay. This reminds me strongly of maybe my favorite quote by Friedrich Nietzsche. By Friedrich Nietzsche. Man's maturity to have regained the seriousness that he had as a child at play. This fits in with the metamorphoses that Nietzsche presents in Zarathustra, and additionally fits in with a lot of the work that he did thinking about like the paths of life. And I think if you mix mash it with some better psychology, you come to some real, honest, important truths. The most mature thing that you can do is to stop trying to act mature and instead pursue with great seriousness the childish things that you value. In the same way that a child, without thinking about what other people might think or how they look or what the consequences might be, will wholeheartedly pursue whatever it is that interests them with complete seriousness. Whether that's climbing a tree, or the steeple of the church, or imagining yourself a great adventurer, or playing with sticks and dirt, whatever it is, children engage themselves completely in their aspect, in their reality. They be completely. They live in the present completely. Adults lose that. We lose that. We become serious. We become weighed down by the requirements of life. And those requirements often require us to do work and stuff, that thing that isn't what calls to us directly and pulls us forward and makes us as serious at play and blah, blah, blah. So to angle that as a goal, to transcend that seriousness to a state where you can be really sincere and serious about play, about finding joy, about your time and your purpose and your path and your vocation and the things that you're called to do, not the things that you must do, but the things that you must do. I think that's the goal, is to return that child at play. The opposing side is kill the boy so that the man may be born, right? That's the perspective that we get in some sort of hardline media. We get it in Game of Thrones, we get it all over the place, and it's true too. You can't live in childish wonder and fantasy and fiction forever. You have to marry that to reality in some real way, but that you shouldn't dispense with it. And Nietzsche's thought is that you'll oscillate too far in that direction, too far into seriousness, into maturity, and away from your childish truth, and that you have to oscillate, fling yourself back. And I think that's exactly true. I think you got to go through both stages. So, if you're only a dreamer, and your reality is falling apart, you need to get pretty serious about reality. But if you're only in reality, and your dreams are lacking, if those eyes of yours have gone dead, if you don't recognize yourself in the mirror, if you don't feel like you're the person that you wanted to be when you were 15, you gotta go get in touch with that side too. Eyes full of hopes and dreams. That's not a bad thing. That's the right place to be, and you can be there again. You just have to be willing to change. But now he's like I was when I was young. I'm not sure what that means to him. Now he's like I was when I was young. I don't know. Please take him away from this village. He's been looking for someone to give him that last push. And indeed, he's like begging for it. But then as soon as you bring it up explicitly to him, he'll deny it. He'll deny it. And then all his actions will go in that direction. But then his speech will say no. Right? Squeezed out the sides. I have to stay here. I've got a duty to it. I've got a responsibility, squished out the sides. I really wish I was out there fucking adventuring. That would be really cool. I really regret that I didn't go out there 10 years ago, but I guess it's too late now. I guess I'll stay. I'll just stay and I'll languish and I'll fall apart. No. I don't understand. An aversion to my own kind, I guess. Stark goes to invite, and then we jump to... Well, at some point we'll jump to that moment where Himmel and the others are trying to get Frieren to come along with them. And that's the closest connection in terms of my own kind that I get. Someone who wants to stay static. someone who wants to just be, to freeze, maybe we could say. I don't know. I'm not sure. What do you think the aversion to one's own kind really means? This is a question for the comments. I like this response. I'm getting to know the people, but it is probably an excuse, right? I think so. I think it's probably just an excuse, even if it's true. I'm this village's priest. No, you aren't. Your brother is, right? Right. And then even his speech is confused. I can't go, well, I guess it would be fun. And then he even gives an opportunity or a pathway for it. If you can beat me, I'll join your party. He wants to go. He keeps organizing and orchestrating paths that lead to that possibility, but then backing away from them. It's really interesting. It's another example, I think a very good one in a narrative, of people acting in a way that is directly opposed to their desires. Like completely, entirely. Humans are masterfully capable of lying to ourselves. We're really good at it. Like, amazing at it. It's why you can't believe people. You can't believe them when they tell you what they think or feel. You have to observe them. And if what you observe, and just at the first, this isn't like distrust everybody, but if you observe that what they say and what they do actually are in some kind of alignment, if they're like, I'm a kind person and I like to go through the world trying to help people, and you observe them continuously in their life actively making a conscious effort to try to help people and like seemingly being drawn to that and kind of not being able to help it, and it's like their nature, it's what they do, you can be like, well, they seem to recognize this thing about themselves. But very often you'll get people who are like, I'm a really kind person and I love going around and helping people. Oh God, a homeless person. Ew. It's like, oh, you're not that at all. You have no idea what you are. You haven't looked at yourself at all. You've got no ability to self-evaluate. And a lot of people are like that. Confused, conflicted, very, very solidly set on one particular idea or ideal that they've convinced themselves they believe, but they haven't actually convinced themselves to believe it. They've just convinced themselves that they do. Maybe because it's the right thing, or they've been pressured by the people around them to like, hey, everybody believes this. But do they actually believe it? Do they act it? Do they do it? What are the results of their actions? What are the results of their speech? What are they actually moving toward? It's important. It's important. That's not to say that you should just ignore what people say about themselves. It's usually all you get, but gotta be wary of it, I think. Bam. Wham. It wasn't even him, it was the both of them. That's so silly. So silly. And he made it a 1v1, but it wasn't a 1v1. If you could beat me, but it wasn't a 1v1. Hilarious. You want to become an adventurer, don't you? That's a long time ago. It's too late now. I should have gone after him sooner. So we have another set of excuses. It's not that I don't want to. First, it's that I don't want to. I can't. I'm the priest. I'm required to be here. And then it's not actually that I don't want to. It's that I should have then, but I can't now. Okay, so you're 30, 35. I really should have changed my career when I was 25. But now it's 10 years too late. I'll never get anywhere if I change my career now. So I'll just stay here and get more miserable. Right? Wrong, terrible, awful, bad idea. No, you know that you're miserable. This is a sunk cost fallacy in a lot of ways. In some ways, it's unique because there is this possibility that he's dead. There's this possibility that really was the time. There's also the fact that adventuring is a physically taxing thing, right? You're not as young as you used to be. You're no spry chicken. You're also not a fucking oldie. You're not 70. You're not 2000. You could do this. Plus, you're a priest. You could give yourself a little bolster, a little boost. So what is this? It's too late. It's too late. It's a softening of regret. It's like, well, It's not like I chose the wrong path, it's just that the wrong path was sort of forced upon me. That the right path would have been right at that time, and it isn't right now, so I really can't make the choice now, and that assuages my guilt and self-hatred for not making the choice that I know that I really need to make and really want to do. I'm too late. I've missed the boat. It's not that I wanted to miss the boat, but now that I've missed the boat, I'm not going to jump in the ocean and swim after it. That's crazy. So Sign is stuck. All I am is a loser in his underwear. And then we have this. It's too late now. It's been 500 years. I've forgotten. I put it aside for too long. She takes more responsibility than he does, in her phrasing at least. I deferred the decision for too long. I put it off. I let it be. I was probably afraid. And these are lines that probably Sign could say about himself. I deferred the decision to go adventuring for too long. I was probably afraid of going adventuring and getting dead. Reasonable thing to be, right? But he doesn't have that sort of self-insight. Not really. Too much time has passed, time I can't get back now. And Himmel's response is, so what? I'm talking about the present. And we fade them in. Once again, my favorite part of the show comes and rears its head. Once again, what Himmel said to Frieren mattered to her so much that she remembers it and can apply it to other people. And what that says about the value of saying important things to the people around you is infinite. The power that it might have, your metaphorical stink left in the wind, the power that it might have for you to influence somebody else in a positive direction, just by sharing what you believe with them. Not by manipulating them or trying to fuck with their life or anything like that. But just by sharing the truest truth that you have. Can be really powerful. And it can echo generation by generation by generation to a degree that's really incalculable, unfathomable. No, ask someone else. And she says, that told me everything I need to know. I don't like you, and that's why I've decided you'll join no matter what. I don't understand why Frieren does this. I'd love your insights or your thoughts on her perspective here. That told me everything I need to know. Ask someone else. You don't know how I feel. And then, I don't like you. And then, that's why I know you need to come with us. I'm not sure. That makes so little sense that it scares me. Honestly, me too. Chief returns it all. Filthy, filthy. What did I do to her? Don't worry about it, man. It's not how it works. I do find it very funny that Fern is so against all of the things that he does that are really Heiter things. It's very cute and weird. Not sure about a priest who drinks. Don't you know alcohol is the best medicine? Yeah, for what? Yeah, for what? And whether he comes with us or not, what Frieren recognizes is that he needs to change. He needs to go in some direction. I just thought it might be nice to give someone the push they need. Himmel did it for me. You might even say it's what Himmel the hero would have done. So we stay and we push. Not too hard, but we push. They invite me with hopes and dreams in their eyes. Why now? They shine too brightly for these tired eyes. Oh man, the older women thing is hilarious. The using Frieren as the older woman is absolutely absolutely hilarious. And the blown kiss. The secret technique. Smooch. I need to hear it. And it actually bowls Fern and bowls Fern and Stark over completely. She calls him Sonny too. Oh, way too sexy. Oh yeah, it worked on Himmel for sure. That's because he's into you, Frieren. Aw, and it worked on Fern because goggles on, because that could work too, y'all. It could work real good. I'm very down. Very down. Age difference notwithstanding, weird shit notwithstanding. Fern Frieren is the ship that we all deserve. A wicked, wicked woman. If I had been the target, I would have been in danger. Yeah! He said he'd be back in 3 and it's been 10. He drops it. He's obviously dead. Frieren calls it out. You're going to give up without going to see him? And changes the perspective. It's only been 10 years. And it seems like she's just doing this from Frierenisms. Like, 10 years doesn't matter to Frieren. But I actually think that she's thinking of human lifespans here a little bit. Just to change the perspective for him, it's only been 10 years. Once it's 20, how are you going to make the choice then? Once it's 40, how are you going to make the choice then? You're going to be dead. If you go later, you'll wonder, now could have been your last chance. It's too late, it's too late. Well, it will be. It will be too late. But the present is the present. So she says, I'm talking about now. Now. Because that's his name, is to be. I'm talking about being. Being. But I can't. I didn't then. I couldn't then, and I can't now. And his reason is on someone else's shoulders. It's not his reason. I can't leave my brother. How dare you put that on me? Right? How dare you make that assumption and put that on me? I can't take his hometown away from him too. The truth is that his brother sacrificed himself to stay here, to be the priest of this town. He stayed in this village for you, in part so that you could leave, man. The difference that he delineates is not that, though. We're not the same. I never regretted the choice I made. You did. That's what matters. It's not too late. It's not too late. I made him hit me this time. Fine, I'll become an adventurer. And he repeats those lines. It's only been 10 years after all. I'll make that dream come true. So I'll only go with you part way. He's still got some reluctance there, whatever. But we catch the fish. We bring him along. Okay, brother. Off on an adventure that's been waiting. It's been waiting for you for a decade now. Feels trite to say better late than never, but better late than never. For almost everything. Have you got a thing that you regret? Something that pulled at you that you never started? Maybe you tried it and gave it up because it was hard. Maybe you couldn't do it because there was too much on your plate. Maybe it wasn't aligned with the things that everyone told you needed to focus on, but it called out to something else in you. I invite you, I implore you, to search that out in yourself, because finding it and recognizing it might be the only push that you need. Your situation might not be the same as it was when you put it away. So unpack it, take it out, polish it off. Get that shine back in your eyes, and then go. Watch yourself, watch the excuses bubble up. Watch the defense against feeling like you've made a mistake. Watch the justifications that swallow up that desire and turn it into an impossibility. Watch those thoughts that say, oh, it's too late. Maybe then I could have, but now I can't. And then really evaluate where those come from. Because if they don't come from a place of absolute truth, you need to dispense with them and then pursue what you really want. We suffer by our reluctances. Recognize your reluctances, and you can suffer less. Plus, you might end up on a really cool adventure with some really cool people, and that might be worth it. This is a cool episode. I can't wait to see the comments on it. I bet a lot of people have some deep connections to sign here. I certainly do. It's pretty spectacular that I am able to connect that heavily with a character over 20 minutes, right? 20 minutes to introduce a character's whole deal? Honestly, it's like 12 to introduce his whole deal and make us totally understand the circumstance, and then 8 to mishmash it all together and make him come to the conclusion that he needs to. That's insane. That's insane. This story could have taken 5 times longer and not been nearly as cool. Suffer less. Or, from a different perspective, one that has always helped me a lot, you're going to suffer, period. It's the nature of reality, Buddhist style. Suffer all the time. There's going to be pain, your body's going to fall apart, existence is horrific, yippee-ki-yay. You can choose what you suffer for. It's pretty much the only thing that you get. As a conscious being with the ability to determine your actions, pretty much the only thing that you get to choose, broadly, is what you're doing while you're suffering. And some of the things that you can choose will make you suffer more, and some of them will make you suffer less, but you'll suffer regardless. So the question isn't which thing that I do will bring me the least suffering, because you're going to suffer and die regardless. The thing is, which thing that I could do would justify the suffering that I'm going to experience? Would I be able to look back on and say that was worth it, despite all the pain, despite my body falling apart at the end, despite the aches within me, despite the torture, despite everything that I had to give up to make it happen, that was worth it. And when you look out at the people that you're impressed by in the world, the people who you admire, very often you'll find that what you really admire about them is that they've found something worthwhile and they've chosen to suffer for that. And amazingly, it makes all the rest of it feel like it didn't even happen. It makes all the rest of the pain feel like it doesn't even exist, because we are driven to drive towards something that we consider worthwhile, and by considering it worthwhile, we consider everything else less important. That suffering becomes part of our path forward instead of just a thing holding us down. So find something worth suffering for. It'll probably be the thing that calls to you. It'll probably be the thing that you can't help yourself but be drawn to. And maybe you've spent years preventing yourself from moving in that direction for various reasons. Find those reasons and dispense with them. Push forward. Choose a path. Find a story. Live that story. Recognize your reluctances and use them as your compass. Oh, I'm really scared of going and doing that. Maybe that's where I should go first. That's a good way to be. Here and now in the present. To be. Damn, there's a lot here. Cool. Another beautiful episode of Frieren. Another cool character with some interesting stuff to talk about. Another complete lack of complaints from me. Another big thumbs up. Another thank you very much for watching along with me. And another I'll see you next week for more Frieren. Much love. Peace.